If you browsed our website before, you may have noticed this category called Filters under the Video section. Go into it, and you'll notice that we have about 30 different filters available, many of which are ND or neutral density filters. Let's talk about why you'd need an ND filter. Neutral density filters essentially do nothing more than reduce the amount of light coming into your camera. In this case, we have on a Tiffin variable ND filter, which, depending on the position of the front part of the filter, will let you cut the amount of light coming into your camera anywhere from 2 to 8 stops. Still shooters are used to being able to control light using either ISO, aperture setting, or shutter speed. Video shooters, on the other hand, don't have that last option. For us, shutter speed is usually set at either 1/50th or 1/60th of a second, depending on the frame rate we're shooting at. So we only have ISO and aperture at our disposal. Now, if you, like many video shooters, like to shoot in log video mode, which gives you greater flexibility with color grading and post-production with your footage, your ISO is even more limited. You can't, for example, shoot any lower than ISO 1600 on the Sony a7S II in that mode. This means that if you want to shoot with your aperture wide open to get that smooth, shallow depth of field look without overexposing your image, you're now pretty limited. You can't make your aperture smaller to cut light because your depth of field will increase, and you can't adjust ISO because you're limited to a minimum of 1600. This is where an ND filter comes in. Slide that ND filter in front of the lens, and we can now shoot at that wide open aperture of f2.8, even though our shutter speed is fixed at 1/50th of a second and ISO set to 1600. As ND filters go, you have two basic choices. You can go with a threaded filter like this one, which is available in both variable and fixed ND values. The issue with that is that the filter has to be screwed into the front of the lens. That means that if you change lenses in the middle of shooting, you're going to have to unscrew the filter from your old lens and screw it onto the new one. The other option you can go with is a rectangular ND filter. These Schneider ND filters, for example, are available as a kit of 4 filters, ranging from 1 to 4 stops of light reduction. They're made of extremely high-quality optical glass and are very popular among filmmakers. To use one of these filters, you'll need to have a matte box assembly like this one mounted on a 15 or 19mm rod system. These matte boxes typically have 1 or 2 filter holders, also called filter stages, that you can use for filters that are 4 inches by 5.65 inches. To use the ND filter, simply remove the stage from the matte box assembly and drop the filter into it. There's a spring-loaded catch at the top that keeps it from falling out, but be careful nonetheless. Then, put the stage back into the matte box, and you should be good to go. Since ND filters, at least the good ones, don't impart any kind of color cast to your footage, you can set the white balance as you see fit. In my case, I kept it a daylight white balance. And that's basically how you use an ND filter. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments or contact our customer service department. Thanks for watching.